Hi, it's Carol, and I have 3 new Grungy junk journals that will be going in my Etsy shop. So I'm just going to go through them and flick. We're going to start with the big one because, you know, let's just do it. So it's just got a ribbon, tying it on, which will come off. You don't need to have that on. She doesn't flop open too much. Now this is made out of an old map. This is all found and stash items, so it's a real junk journal. So obviously a plan of Margate, Ramsgate and Broadstairs, and I thought that was fascinating. And it's got writing on the back and everything. This is all original, so I just thought it would be super cool as a little journal. So I've just decorated the front up with a collage of all sorts of bits and pieces. I've left the price on the bottom, which I thought was like 3 and 6. My goodness me, them were the days. I don't remember those days, by the way. And going inside, you have a lot of vintage ephemera in here. So this is one of my little layered pockets that we made ages ago. I'll leave the link somewhere so you can have a look. So you've got book page, very old vintage pattern. So these are just things for you to play with. This is one of the cigarette cards that I've got. This is a piece from Jovi, Creating with Jovi, which is an old receipt. And I've also popped on a postcard, a vintage postcard, which is backed so that you can write on it. Got a little tab on this one. Little envelope, little book page envelope with some little writing spaces on, tucked in. Little flip. You can add pages to this. I have done a video that shows you how you can add writing space. I've left you some writing space. So this page has got a double flip. So you just open the little flower and this will pop open. I've got a little writing space behind there. And this one will flip up, more writing space. This is just a collage. And here we have just brown paper packaging and some vintage, whatever that is, just vintage, everything. It's all old, it's all old. It's cutouts, bit of fabric on there. This is out of an old, there we go, Holidays in Britain book. And I left this because it's awesome. I love boats and water. Bit of colouring. It's a little tuck spot made of the paper folded over and just embellished with a strip of fabric. And this is really just me playing around, and you can just open it up and it's got little writing space in. You can tuck more in there, another tag or something. Some stenciling. This is a very vintage piece of paper, old graph paper, and I've just decorated them up. This is a vintage book page, and it's out of an old magazine, and this is one of my pattern paper cards. Just put a stamp, not stamp, what are they? Sticker, that's the word, sticker. Just decorated them up. Little cluster down there, this old map. Some old stamps. In here are more stamps that I've just popped in a handmade envelope. You've got some tissue which has been embossed and coffee dyed, and this is just a coffee dyed old till receipt. Here, coffee dyed book with a handmade coaster tag, whatever you want to call it. This one is just a collage on here, and you can open it up, and in the envelope you've got some more little vintage book pages just for you. You can add, you can collage with them, you can do what you like with them. I'm just giving you some extra ephemera It's a little bookmark, and this little thing holds that shut so that it doesn't flop about. Some more vintage bits here. Telephone messages. Remember when you had to take a message? I do remember that. Just some random bits stuck on. This one is a paper clip holding that down, and you just open this up and there's a little tuck in there. Obviously you can still decorate this up however you like. There's still plenty of things you can do to it. A little notepad in there, tucked away, but also giving you something on the edge to look at. Oh, right, okay, we've got 3 of these to get through. It's out of it's a photocopy of a vintage page. This is original, and I've put in a few tags. So this one I've just stuck some fabric on. This is just writing space. I love that, it came out really nice. And this is like a tag that I have used my Sizzix on and just cut a flower shape. Another cluster, page edge cluster, vintage envelope that I made. It's coffee dyed, and this is original and this is original. And inside we have a recipe card. Just a bit of a collage, tag, stenciling. Oh, I love this. This just for texture and difference, and just a little tag and a weird little embellishment because I like doing weird stuff. Some fabric on there, and this is a little vintage bit, and you flip this out, and in here is another little scrappy pad. You just tuck it in. There's more pages from that little book because it's so cute. Oh, love it. I just love it. So that goes in this little pocket there, hopefully. There we go. And then this will flip out. I knew it flipped out. And you've got little tags in here. We did this one as well. I'm sure I've done this on a video. A little tag here. If I have, I'll leave the link in the description box. And this is another one of the index cards that's been coffee dyed. You can do your own pattern on the back. You can do something with that and just writing on there. So I've left you some bits to do as well. And that's a pocket. This is an old map page behind there, vintage map. Just put some fabric on, I just did. Got a little cluster here with a little tag. A bit of sample. I've left that one. Actually, I haven't done anything to it. Oh, spare bit of paper. This is your writing board. All the big journals come with a writing board so that, you know, when you're doing your writing, you're not going to bobble up underneath. Little pocket at the back with a little notebook and another one inside. So full of little tiny secret journaling spaces, which I love. And in here is just some spare bits. So you've got coffee dyed, got some, what are they? Raffle tickets, and a score pad that you can use in your journals. And this is I've coffee dyed all my fabric, and then I got an envelope and just covered it with fabric. This one can sit in here or it can go in there, whichever. And then tuck that in. Oh, there's a couple of buttons at the bottom I tied on. I don't do that normally, so it confuses me when I have done it. So there's that one. She's called Wish. So the next one is pretty grungy and also very full of just scraps and bits. So if you want to see the contents of my desk, they're in here basically. I've tangled this up so much now. You may need to cut this shorter because I tangled it all up. Okay, so it wraps around with this twine. This is just a button, which is super cool, just to tie it all up with. And this one you'll see has been made from a music sheet. The cover of one of my vintage music sheets fall into pieces. So this is from a vintage magazine, and I've just put journal on there, and you open it up, and inside you have a pocket with some ephemera in. So you've just got some tickets and bits. You can journal on them or you can use them somewhere else. And tucked in there is another little card. It's so pretty. This one has what's left of a postcard. A very old postcard. Look at these cars. Obviously German, I believe. And that tucks into there. And I've put some fabric on to strengthen it because it's very, very fragile. But it's super cool to use as a cover. So when you take it over, on the other side you have this music sheet with a photo in. Now you can take this vintage photo out and replace it with one of your own. But I thought it looked really sweet in there. Just an embellishment on here and some tags. This is just a really little one. In here you have a tag and some embossed writing paper. Decorated with a few stamps there. Got loads of them. A blank page, a flip page which you can add to, you know, just put some more bits of paper on it. Anything you want to do. On this page you have a fabric pocket decorated with bits and pieces from my desk and also a button packet. It's got button in it, I think. It feels like it has. Oh, it's got a little white button in. I may put some more in if I remember. And a vintage bit of measuring tape. In here is a vintage card. Probably not vintage. Ignore that. Not vintage. Cluster, that's a very thick page, by the way, now. I've just collaged all over it. Bit of fabric, tab. Book page tuck with a piece from an old newspaper. Get in. This is, what do you call them? They used to be like little notepad. And up here's another little tag. The old book page colouring. Loads of writing space. You could use this as a tuck if you want. You could pop something in like this just to write on. I'll leave that in. That's it. It's out of like a pad that you have all your things on. Very grungy page. Some of that matte book. And on here are two of my tea cards and some ephemera to play with. So just bits and pieces. Another little page. On here is a tag, just ready to write on, tucked in to a little flip tuck. And here, another one. In the back you have a very vintage phone message pad, just some paper from that. And this is one of my packaging paper envelopes, which I've made on a previous video as well. And that is this one. On the back's just some collage. I found this in an old Enid Blyton book. Obviously written by a little one. Privet. Property, I think it's supposed to be. Please look if the book has lost its owner, so you know who they are. I thought that was awesome, so I put it in. I just think it was so funny. And she just wraps up like this. And she hasn't got a name, she's just called Journal. So that's those two. This one was so much fun. I had a telephone book, which was about this long. And I thought, I'm never going to do anything with that. But I did. I cut it down to make this little one. And I found this off a chocolate box and popped that on decorated up the front, some lace on, and I think it's turned out really nice. I've just decorated the back with just book pages, and you know we have loads of them. This is more book page. I've shown you this in a flip through where we do flips. So this is just a collage, and you flip it out and you've got writing space. Little tuck here with pieces in, and here plenty of room for you to embellish it as well. So flip and photo. Shown you this one because this is what you do with these little bits of pages that you've got. You can just turn them into little tuck spots like that. This is another thing we did. We made little flip outs like this. There is a video on that. And also you get a pocket as well with some ephemera. This is coffee dyed gel printed paper, stamped. Had a bit of everything on that one. This is my leaf coffee dyeing. This is a piece of vintage book page with old flowers on it, and I couldn't decide which one to use, so I've left it in here, and whoever gets the journal can decide which ones they want to use. Take the responsibility off me. This is gorgeous goldy paper. Old music books, all vintage. This is all original, all these pages. So this is another little pocket, and in here is a little notepad, and in the back is a little tag, and that is on another one of these little tiny pages. I just made a policy envelope out of book page and then stuck that on to make a flip as well. Book page, ledger page, upside down. It happens to everybody. So I've left it in because it reminds you that anybody can do it. More book page. Oh, and in the centre I've made this butterfly. How cool is that? It should be a bird really, but I thought a butterfly was cute. And I had a butterfly, so I popped him in. This one is another example of what you can do with a flimsy page. Stick it together to another flimsy page and then put a pocket on it, and then you can stick one of these little envelope. Oh, and you get that in it as well. And you just shut it up like that. More writing space. Pop it in the pocket, and you can decorate that up. I've left loads of more decorating in this one. So this is a collage envelope, just with scraps of fabric. Obviously I'd been doing my hand stitching videos, and this is an embossed tag and just a printout of one I've had for ages. I thought I might as well use. And here again we've got a book page pocket with just a ruffle of fabric and some more ephemera to play with. That's the other side of that gold tag. Again, you can add to that. So this one is attached with a little clip, folds out, and you've got a little envelope in there as well. So very cool. And then this folds out. Don't you just love it? I just love it when they go folding in and folding out. So that's a page, and then that's a page, and then you just keep it shut so it doesn't flop about. Blank page for you to play with, and another one. This one I've left. There is a tuck spot here. This I've added just because, and we've got to put, I'm going to put a little thing in there I have forgotten. And there's another tuck spot for you to put some more bits in and decorate it up. And I think this is the last page. There we go. So on the back page we have a cluster made from one of my tea cards, and in the pockets you've got a little mini book, tag, another tag. You know, got tags coming out my ears. And this is a little vintage map book. I thought I'd pop that in so that You know, it can be used as some sort of ephemera or book tag cover or something. And there's a big pocket on the back which hasn't got anything in either. So there is lots for you to do in this book. So those 3 will be in my Etsy shop, hopefully when this video goes up. So if you want one, pop along, have a look. The link to my Etsy shop is in the description box. If you've enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up. And I'm so happy that you came by. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye. Penny? I think it's a penny. No, it's a button. This fabric pocket has a bit of a tape measure. Excuse the words. The words I just don't want to come today. Shouldn't be the day to do a flip through. Vintage, but I'm going to start this page again. So in this page we've got a fabric pocket which is just decorated up with some bits and pieces from my desk. You've got a piece of old tape, measuring tape, and an old book. Third time lucky.